Hi, Sue Mercer from photographyandphotoshop.com and digitalphotography.com. I just want to show you very quickly a picture that we took at a recent wedding. It was last Saturday, and after we had tons of rain, and we're still having tons of rain, we had one pretty nice little day that snuck right in there, and it was Saturday. Thank goodness. So anyway, we got awesome pictures with this couple of great families. The mom has a little bit of a handicap, so we actually took pictures of these guys. This is their house over here to the left, and if they were turned around and we were shooting from the other direction, we had pictures of them in front of their lake that's right in front of their house. So at this point, they wanted a quick picture, so we just turned them around where they were, took the shot. The incline I was standing on was kind of going down right to the water, so I was a little tentative about possibly rolling and falling into the water. So I was trying to be very careful about that. So it ended up that I got this shot, but over by this lake there are tons of people always walking by. So invariably I got a guy here, we get two people going into the house right here, we get a sign here, a sign here, a sign here, and then the sky is kind of whitish. But I want to show you how quickly and how cool this picture can look. Alright, so to start off with, I want to show you my finished product, and then we'll get to how I did it. Okay, so this is the finished product. The guy is gone, these guys are gone, there's two signs here are gone, this sign's gone, and now they have a little bit of a blue sky going on behind them. And I increased exposure on the pictures here. Alright, so I'm going to show you the original again. See the people, the signs, the sign here, and how bright everything is here. And then I'm going to show you my finished product right here. Okay, so to start off with, I used my cloning tool, and I got rid of the sign between their heads. I got rid of the signs over here and the guy by using all cloning tool, just my cloning stamp. Alright, there were also some wires going through the trees right here, and I got rid of those too. Okay, so here's the wires, those are gone. The two signs are gone, the people are gone, this guy's gone, and this sign is gone. So I'm not going to go do all that because that will take quite a bit of time, but from here I'm going to do Command and Control L, which brings up my levels. And I wanted to darken down the picture. I want to add a little color, so this slider here kind of increases your blacks, so it gives me a little better color. I could darken down the picture. This is darker or lighter, so I'm gonna, if I slide it to the right, it makes it a little bit darker. And if I wanted to add a little more contrast or decrease some contrast over here, what I'm gonna do is first of all I'm gonna say okay, because this is kind of like a contrast slider. This, but see, you start to lose everything on the right, so I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna say okay. And if I wanted to do anything to just this section here, I'm gonna use my lasso tool. By hitting L, brings me to my lasso tool over here. I'm going to circle just this area here. Now whenever I do a selection, I always want to feather the selection because I don't want to have an edge show. If I were, for instance, going like this and I wanted to darken that down, and I say okay, and then I deselect, which is Command and Control D. See how you can see a line right there? So I'm going to go back into my history box right here, and I'm going to go back to just where I had done the levels. Alright, so I'll tuck that away again so you can see. So if I do my lasso tool, I go up to select, modify, feather, and it does, because you're feathering, it does not have to be extremely precise when you do stuff like this. So I'm going to say, I've got a feather radius of about 20 pixels, and I'm going to say okay. I don't need it to go too much further than that because I'm not going to do that much different to it, but I'm going to do levels again, and or maybe, let's see, let me just cancel that for a minute. I'm going to do image, adjust, brightness and contrast. I'm just going to take the contrast down a teeny bit in his suit coat. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit so you can see the difference. So if I do that, that's one, maybe I'll go a little more, just so you can see it. Okay, I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to deselect. So that's Control Command D to deselect. So far so good. And I had cloned all this stuff out of here, so that's looking good, they're looking good. Now at this point, her face is a tad darker than everybody else's, so I'm going to go over and I'm going to use my dodge tool. So right over here, I can hit O to get that, but you want to make sure sometimes it's dodged or sometimes it's burned. So, and exposure of this brush is 31. I'm going to go to about 15. I don't want it to be too much. So one little quick swipe, and I'm going to show you the history on that too. That's before I dodged her face and now after. So now she kind of matches up with everybody else. So one quick little thing like that works. And then to get in the blue sky, I use the Nik filters. So I'm going to go to Filter, Nik Software, add Color Effects, and I'm going to bring this up. And I'm going to use what's called, I think it's like a graduated filter or something. Let me just see if I can find it. Graduated filters. And they have a whole bunch of different ones. So the blue one is the one I'm going to use. And but I'm not going to just say okay to that because that gets into their heads and everything. So I'm going to say brush. Okay, so this is another way to use it. You click on brush, and a form's going to come up on your left side. We'll just wait for that to come up. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint in what I want for the blue sky. And I have my brush. I can make my brush bigger or smaller by using my right or left bracket keys. And the opacity of it is 10%. I want to get this done a little quicker, so let's probably go about, let's do about 20%. I don't want to do too much. Alright, so we're doing 25%. Okay, so I just go in here, a little through the trees, a little up here. So this is a little more than I would normally do. I think I'm going to bring it down. Let's go to 15%. And then to get in behind, between them, you know, and I'm not doing it solid because, you know, skies are not solid blue and it won't look natural. I'm going to make my brush size a little smaller. And I'm making sure I have a feathered brush, which I do, because I don't want anything distinct to show like that. So again, I would probably do a little even less than 15% to kind of finish it off, but there you go. Now when you're done applying that, you just say, you click on apply, and we're waiting, and that's done. So now I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to show you, if you go to layers, that is a new layer for you, and it's at 100%, so you can then at that point even decrease the amount that you put in if you want. Alright, so I'm going to show you again. This is our finished, partially finished, but in the end this is what I ended up with. So I think it looks awesome, and I think they're going to be extremely happy with that. So hopefully that will help you out, and we'll see you on the next one.